20 years, and I'm currently performance manager at SkateboardGB. I had the privilege of leading our first skateboard team through the Tokyo cycle. An absolutely fantastic experience with a lot to learn along the way. Hopefully you don't mind I've got notes by the way. Not really used to doing this thing. So I'm just going to start by basically saying to you today that I haven't got anything profound to say today. I've not got coaching philosophy, years of it, that I haven't got like worlds of experience to share. But what I do have to share is what I learned on my journey and some of the things that are important to me. It sounds like a bit of a bad joke to start with, like my story. 2 dads, 2 teenagers and a 6'5" skateboard being walked to the Olympic Village. It's kind of insane. If you'd have come to me in 2018 and said, Darren, you're going to the Olympic Games in 2021, I'd have been like, you're mental. If you'd have come to me and said, you're going to the Olympic Games with 2 teenagers, 2 dads, in a global pandemic, I probably would have just laughed at you. But if I'm honest, it's absolutely a ridiculous notion. And it's still really surreal that it even happened. So today, I just want to... So, so a bit of an overview there. Sorry, I didn't press the button. So I was really looking, I got to support 5 or 6 skateboarders through the Tokyo cycle, 2 of which were 13-year-old bronze medalist Sky Brown, and the other was 15-year-old Olympian Bomber Martin, and also their families through that, which I'm going to get to in a minute. The focus of my kind of conversation today is really just the importance of kind of building relationships and creating environments. Like I said, it's nothing profound, it's just 2 things that I think are really important in my journey and our journey as we work together kind of to take on this really strange experience. So, really simple slides. I've thrown some keywords on the screen and there's some pictures there. So there's 2 families, the Browns and the Martins. Just, coaching and skateboarding is still really relatively kind of new thing. Especially at elite level, there's a lot of grassroots, but not at elite. And what you find is that skateboarding is very autonomous. It's peer-led. We've had 60 years of skateboarding, probably 60 or 70, and that whole time it's happening in skate parks with skateboarders sharing experiences and supporting one another. So formal coaching is still relatively new, and it's something that we're at SkateboardGB we're trying to understand and build out. You see, culturally, skateboarding is really significant, and the values of skateboarding, autonomy, creativity, individuality, are really key to making it a special sport. We know that if we lose those things, we won't be special anymore. So we're trying to find a balance here where we can, retain the culture, embrace performance. And part of the learnings I had through the cycle, like I said, really simple. So we just in building relationships, family, meaningful, time, challenging, holistic, empathy, authentic, collaborative, tailored. Just kind of some buzzwords that you all probably hear about and you all see a lot. I've heard a lot of talk about meaningful relationships during my time in this high performance space. And the truth of it is that it's really difficult and it takes a lot of time. It's very challenging to build meaningful relationships. It's not something that's easy. But if you do it and you find a way to do it right, the benefits and what you can achieve off the back of it is so great. These families here, they're so integral to their, to the success of their skateboarders. And I don't just mean one dad or one mum, every single member. You have a nutritionist in Mum with the Browns. You have basically one of probably the best skateboard coaches in the world right now in Sky's dad, Stu. Ocean Brown is Sky's biggest cheerleader. They all add to create an environment in which Sky can thrive. And it's exactly the same with the Martins. You've got some little KO there, Bombet's brother. He's a firecracker in himself. He's battling back out Bombet. I sit there some days and just like those 2 just going at each other, just like proper sibling rivalry. But it pushes Bombet. Mary, again, obsessed with nutrition, obsessed with her daughter. Really wants her daughter to do well and ultimately just cares about her so much. Like we all are kids. But she's there, she's on the ground supporting her. And then we've got Bomber there, Boxer Bomber. So he's an ex-boxer from Birmingham, just around the corner in Erdington. His dad was carrying the baton the other day during the Commonwealth Games in his 80s, had a boxing gym. And his competitiveness and his kind of experiences he's had as a boxer really added to Bombet's kind of journey. So what I found during the Tokyo cycle, in this absence of kind of like formal coaching, is parents are really important in the journey, and embracing them, working with them, and understanding them is really, important to success. So here's just a couple of pictures. It's just me and Sky in Tokyo, and then me and Bombette just last week in Birmingham. Sky was 10 when I first met her. Bombette was 13. They are considerably different people now at 14 and 16. I have to constantly chameleon and change my approach as they grow and get older, as I do with their parents, because they're becoming more experienced. So you're back and forth and you're changing your approach constantly. I was very hands-off, in a lot of ways, and that's really just to promote the autonomy in skateboarders and not stifle that creativity with them as they were younger. But as you get to know them more, you get to understand them, and you build the trust with them, and you take the time to really get to know them, they want more from you. And just last week, me and Bombette were there, and she's like, different things at 16 to 14. Daz, can you just do this for me? Can you do that for me? I'm just like, oh my God, I'm turning into your servant. Like, it was loads easier when you didn't care as much. But I think what I just want to say is, I fluffed it over a bit, I appreciate that, but building relationships is so key to everything, and it makes the journey so much more fun when you care about each other and you care what you're doing. So yeah, I'm really excited about the relationships I've built with Sky and Bombette, and I'm really excited to see where they go through this cycle. Sky was 10, she'll be 16 by the time we get to the end of Paris. Bombette was 13, she'll be 18, she'll be an adult, and it just feels like such a privilege to be able to have that time with them and get to know them as people, because that's what's really important. So I'm going to talk a little bit about creating environments. So we went to the Olympic Games, like I said, there's 2 dads and 2 girls, and we went to Tokyo, unable to train. There's no COVID-safe skate park you can go to, nothing like that. We haven't got the luxury of being able to go to the COVID-prepared athletes area in athletics or any of that. So we had 3 days in Tokyo before we moved into the village. And I'm like, right, how am I going to keep the 2 kids and the dads entertained? So I was just like, right, let's just have the best time we can. So these photos are really just kind of describing some of the things we tried to do. They seem really basic, but we tried to have fun. So one day we went to Todoroki and we did high jump. So we got skateboarders doing high jump. And maybe from another sport, somebody would go, what the hell are you doing, Darren, letting these kids do high jump? They're going to compete at the Olympic Games in 2 days. And I'm like, they're happy, they're having a good time. I've got 2 dads doing high jump. I'm just like, what am I doing? And I'm just like, well, happy, Skateboarding comes with risk, and we're used to that, So adding some risk into our preparations doesn't seem like too much of a bad thing. COVID, as we all know, is a really significant challenge at Tokyo, for the Tokyo cycle. Skateboarding is so, like I said, so peer-led. It's so, so social. We're going into this environment where skateboarders are not allowed to communicate with each other necessarily, or not, promote it. It's not promoted because you try and stay COVID safe. I have a picture there of Bombette and girl Lily, who skates for Germany. They're like best friends. It's no fun being the guy saying you're not allowed to hang out with your best friend from Germany because you might get COVID. So it was really just about trying to support their needs socially to make sure that they can continue to do the best thing, and then just promote that happiness. Table tennis. So performance lodge, prep camp. I guess most sports would take that quite seriously. I'm not saying we don't, but there's not much we can use it for. So we went in there and we did some box jumps in the gym. John Alder, I know who's speaking this weekend, actually came up to me and he's like, I knew skateboarding were here, Darren. And I was like, why? It's like, because it was really noisy and it sounded like everyone was having fun. So I was like, I guess it's a good thing. But, we played really highly competitive games of table tennis. I know that's just a picture on a bus, but it's just trying to get that kind of feel that just really doing our best to create environments where the families could come together, they could support each other, and the kids just feel happy in what they were doing. So what have I learned, and what are my takeaways from all of it? Every skateboarder is unique and has individual goals. They must always be at the heart of your planning and preparations. A one-size-fits-all approach in skateboarding is completely ineffective. I'm going into Paris now with a 14-year-old, a 48-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a bunch of 20-year-olds. I cannot treat them all the same, they're all very different. So skateboarding is autonomous, it's individual, it's creative, and it's brimming with camaraderie. By working with skateboarders and their networks in a tailored and flexible manner, we ensure that these vital skateboarder traits are not only regarded, but they're celebrated. They're what makes skateboarding special, and if we lose them, we lose the essence of skateboarding. By collaborating engagingly and transparently, And most importantly, empathetically, you can develop holistic, digestible and focused plans that the entire team can get behind. And building trust with your skateboarders is the most important way you can do that. And then finally, like I said, building real relationships and creating great environments breed happiness for the entire team. They're key to great performances, but also to truly enjoying your journey together. That's me. Sorry for mumbling a lot, and I hope you found it interesting. Thank you very much.